Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on Fury Warrior in an AOE build. And let me tell you, I am pissed. The reason I'm pissed is because they took Bladestorm away from Fury Warrior. I get it, if you're an arms warrior, cool, I'm happy for you. Me personally, I like Fury Warrior. I like the way it plays, I like the way it feels, and there was something about
dual wielding two huge Mega Devastator 5000s, going into a Bladestorm, spinning everything around you into a whirlwind of chaos and death and destruction.
and that's gone. But they did compensate it with a ton of AOE, with a lot of bleeds, a lot of cleave. So we're gonna go through my gear. We're gonna go through the best covenant, even though that's gonna be irrelevant 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're gonna go through the covenant abilities. We're gonna go through the talents. We're gonna demonstrate a rotation. I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get to it. So I'm running about a 277 eye level on this character. Stat priorities are pretty simple when it comes to Fury Warrior as a whole, especially with AOE. Strength, haste, mastery, versatility, and crit are going to be the order that you're going to want to run your stats to get the most effectiveness out of any AOE build on a Fury Warrior. We got pretty close with this build, having 32% haste, 34% mastery, a little backwards, and the same thing here. Versatile, crit being a little over reverse, but we're pretty close to our stat priority. When it comes to the best covenant to run your character, even though, again, as soon as Dragonflight drop, it becomes null and void, and not to mention, currently you only benefit these abilities in Shadowlands exclusively, not in anywhere else in the World of Warcraft. So, you know, kind of take this with a grain of salt. You don't necessarily need to be in this covenant right now unless you're intending to PvP, which happens to be the best PvP and best mythic build for the class, is going to be Kyrian. As you're going to gain the Spear Bastion, you throw a Kyrian Spear at a target location, dealing 3,977 arcane damage instantly and an additional 5,738 damage over 4 seconds. This deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Enemies hit are tethered to the Spear of Bastion location for the duration, so it's a great tie down. And then the other ability is you can summon your steward. You call your steward to bring you a Phial of Serenity that can be consumed to restore 20% health and remove all curses, diseases, poisons, and bleed effects. Your steward additionally offers access to a selection of useful amenities for 4 minutes. So really cool benefits that you can get out of that, but the Spear Bastion is what you're looking for the AOE. Not only does it do a lot of passive AOE, but it's going to bind down those targets so that you can continue to get your cleaves and bleeds off of them. So that is why it's super important. Now let's get into the talent. So with this AOE build, I went pretty straightforward with what you're already kind of seeing commonly with AOE builds right now. We're going to hop to the third row on each one of them. You want fast footwork. Movement speed has been increased by 5%. Spell reflection. This is so clutch to have spell reflection. I don't know how many times this has worked for me on Mythic Plus, and in any scenario where you can spell reflect any ability that a pack or your target is focusing on you can spell reflect it right back into them. Raising your weapon, reflecting the first spell cast on you, reduce damage to you by 20% for 5 seconds. It saves you. It's good. You'll want it. Leeching strikes. Leech is increased by 5%. Huge, huge, huge. For that survivability, you've got to have that. Okay. Improved Enrage over on your Fury Point side. Enrage increases your haste by 15% and increases your movement speed by 10%. Enrage regeneration. Old school clutch, still need it. Reduces damage taken by 30% and Bloodthirst restores an additional 20% of health. Usable while stunned, lasts 11 seconds. Improved Execute. Execute no longer costs rage and now generates 20 rage. Frothing Berserker. Rampage has a 20% chance to immediately refund 20% of your rage spent. Of course, you want Heroic Leap so that you can Heroic Leap either into a target, or if you for some reason have run out of rage, which with this build you're not going to experience that in any kind of AOE pulls, you're just not. But if for any reason you can heroic leap out to charge back in to build some more rage to get back into that fight, especially if you're doing Mythic Plus. You might on occasion run out of, expend all your rage and not be able to regenerate enough to do anything on a single target like on a boss. So maybe that's your opportunity for a heroic leap to charge it back in, but it's still great to have for that movement to make your character mobile so it doesn't feel like a wheelchair class. Furious Blows. Auto attack speed has been increased by 5%. Back over to Fury points. We're going to do Fresh Meat. Bloodthirst always enrages you the first time you strike a target, and it has a 15% chance to increase chance to trigger Enrage. So good. Invigorating Fury. Enraged regeneration lasts 3 seconds longer and instantly heals you 20% of your maximum health. If you can't tell, we're doing a lot of passive healing just by attacking with this build, and it feels really good. Sudden Death. Your attacks have a chance to reset the cooldown of Execute and make it usable on any target regardless of your health. Improved Raging Blow. Raging Blow has 2 charges and a 20% chance to instantly reset its own cooldown. Cruelty. While enraged, Raging Blow deals 15% increased damage and Annihilator deals 10% increased damage. Rampage is a must on any build with Warrior. It doesn't matter what. Rampage is Biss. Enrages you and unleashes a series of 4 brutal strikes for a total of 5,606 physical damage. Moving back over, Barbaric Training. Slam and Whirlwind deal 20% additional increased damage and 10% increased critical strike damage. Overwhelming Rage. Maximum rage increased by 30. Stormbolt is a must, especially in Mythic Plus. You hurl a weapon at your enemy, causing 1,030 physical damage and stunning them for 4 seconds. So not only are you going to have your kick, which should be Pummel, right? Yes. You're going to have Pummel. You're also going to have Stormbolt, which is going to effectively give you that stun as well. So you're going to have 2 interrupts that you're going to be able to cycle through in each of these continuous fights through your Mythic Plus. Pain and Gain. When you take any damage, you heal for 4.5% of your maximum health. This can only occur every 10 seconds. Again, another great passive to keep your health up. Reinforced Plates. It increases your armor by 20%. Bounding Stride. This one's really cool. Again, taking you away from that wheelchair class feel. Reduces the cooldown of your heroic leap by 15 seconds, and heroic leap also now increases your run speed by 70% for 3 seconds after. Sidearm. Your auto attacks have a 20% chance to hurl weapons at your target and 3 other enemies in front of you, dealing an additional 723 physical damage. It's a passive. You don't have to do anything. You're just sitting there just flailing away, and this can happen for you and just proc on random procs. Good stuff. Good passive damage. Moving back over, Hack and Slash. Each Rampage strike has a 20% chance to refund a charge of Raging Blow. This, I'm telling you guys, this is what I was referring to earlier. You're going to rarely find yourself running out of any kind of abilities or any kind of rage buildup with having Rampage, having Hack and Slash, and all these additionals. The 2 additional charges of Raging Blow. You're going to be. This build is so simple and easy and fun to use. You'll see whenever we demonstrate it in a little bit. Slaughtering Strikes. Raging Blow causes every strike that your next Rampage deal an additional 20% damage, stacking up to 5 times. Annihilator causes every strike of your Rampage to deal an additional 2% damage, stacking up to 5 times. So huge. Ashen Juggernaut. Execute increases the critical strike chance of Execute by 10% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Improve Whirlwind. Whirlwind causes your next 4 single target attacks to strike up to 4 additional targets for 45% damage. Whirlwind generates 3 rage plus an additional 1 per target hit, maximum 8 rage. This one's really good because you throw in 1 Whirlwind and then you can go into 3 Raging Blows, hit your Rampage, Whirlwind. Again, keeping it really simple, but effective. Wrath and Fury. Raging Blow deals 15% increased damage, and while enraged, Raging Blow has a 30% chance to instantly reset its cooldown. Raging Armament. Raging Blow gains an extra charge. So now we're at 3 charges of Raging Blow before we have to worry about even our Hack and Slash cooldown continuously kicking it back. Yet again, this is what I was telling you. You're going to be using this a lot. Meat Cleaver. Whirlwind deals 20% more damage and now affects your next 4 targets melee attacks instead of 2. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. Having your next 4 instead of 2 attacks, you're gonna have 4 attacks. Massacre. Execute is now usable on targets below 35%, and its cooldown is been reduced by 1.5 seconds. That's really great because at the end of a fight, when you've got you're pulling a pack, but you've got your focused target in front of you that you're attacking. Once they get down below 35%, your rotation changes into, because you're building so much rage at this point, Rampage, Raging Blow, Execute. Then you're just to keep it simple, Whirlwind, Rampage, Raging Blow, Execute. It's really easy. Recklessness is instant. Go Berserk, increasing all rage regeneration by 100% and granting your abilities 20% increased critical strike for the next 12 seconds. That's so clutch. It's always been around and you're still going to need it. Seismic Reverberation. If Whirlwind hits 3 or more enemies, it hits them with an additional time for 70% damage. That's really, really great with your AOE cleave. It's huge. Double time increases the maximum amount of charges on charge by 1, reducing its cooldown by 3 seconds. So you'll be able to have that maneuverability through packs, being able to get over to targets really quick so you can continue to put pressure on them and continue to put down that damage. Honed Reflexes. Cooldown of Raging Blow and Pummel have been reduced by 1 second. It's not a lot, but it counts in the long run. Armed to the teeth. Gain strength equal to 10% of your armor. so good on your damage, especially with having the mastery up there as one of your higher stat priorities. Ooh. Wild Strikes. Haste is increased by 1% and your auto attack critical strikes increase your auto attack speed by 10% for 10 seconds. I've only got 1 point in it right now, but once we get into Dragonflight and I get my character to level 70, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put the other point in there, giving it a 2% increase on your auto attack strikes and increase your auto attack speed by 20% for 10 seconds. Moving, oh, nope, we're not done. Dual Wield Specialization, increasing your damage while dual wielding by 5%. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Swift Strikes increases haste by 2%. Raging Blow generates an additional 2 rage, and Annihilator generates 2 additional rage. I went with Anger Management. Every 20 rage you spend reduces the cooldown of Recklessness by 1 second versus Reckless Abandon. So keeping Recklessness up as much as you can during these fights is going to really impact your overall damage. Odin's Fury unleashes your power, dealing 7,447 physical damage and an additional 3,037 physical damage over 4 seconds to all enemies within 12 yards. All enemies. Not a pack of 5 with a reduction of 45% beyond 5 or 3 with a reduction beyond 3. None of that. Straight up, anybody within 12 yards of you sling this, you are putting down some dummy thick damage on them. So make sure you keep popping that thing whenever this is actually one of the, after you go through your first cycle, this is probably your second right after the opener, just to go ahead and get those meters popping, you know? While we're here, we're just gonna go ahead and show you guys that the Titanic Rage. Odin's Fury enrages you and greatly empowers Raging Blow for 6 seconds. So once you've procced Odin's Fury, you're going to want to terrorize. So you would look like a Whirlwind, Odin's Fury, Raging Blow, Raging Blow, Raging Blow, which is going to proc a Rampage. You then do another Whirlwind to hit Rampage back into Raging Blow, and that's going to feel good, and that's going to show you a lot of damage meters, a lot on the damage meters, okay? Avatar transforms you into a Colossus for 20 seconds, causing you to deal 20% increased damage and removing all roots and snares. You want to hold on to this for mid-fight to give you improvement if you're on if your recklessness is on CD or something like that, or if you obviously need to remove yourself out of a root or snare. With this character, his racial as a human is I can get out of these roots or snares, but having 2 of them feels really nice. So I do use this as more of a utility than a damage dealer, but it is also nice to have as damage dealer because it improves your, you know, when you go into that Colossus for 20 seconds, it's basically like a mini haste buff or like a drums, you know, like you're hitting some drums right in the middle of the fight. It's nice, and it's only a minute, 1.5 minute cooldown, so a minute and 30 seconds, you got it right back. And then we went with Titan's Torment, activating Avatar cast Odin's Fury, activating Odin's Fury, cast Avatar at reduced effectiveness. So again, it's another way to continue to get Odin's Fury up in those in-betweens, and it feels really, really good. This is the build that I'm running with, guys. I will drop this down into the description, and due to a comment on one of my other videos, I didn't know this. Apparently you can't copy and paste it out of the description, so I'll make sure I'll post this as the first comment on the video so that you guys can actually get this link and test it out yourself. But I want you to test this out. Let me know how you like it. How does it feel to you? And if you see anything that can be improved, or you think you've got a better rotation, or any of that information, please let me know in the comments below, because we're always trying to improve and give this class the fun and effectiveness that it deserves. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna charge in. We're going to use recklessness to go ahead and get a buff right off the rip. You're gonna whirlwind and just start terrorizing. You ready? All right, let's get it. This is another one of those keeping it simple. But look at, you're just constantly putting down damage. Now, just cycling him over. If you need some help, you can always hit pending victory, right? Victory rush. Victory rush or your bloodthirst, and you're back in the business, baby. And it feels good. Again, we miss our blade storms, but you're putting down plenty of damage. And that's it. I mean, guys, it's really, really simple. And I'm out here in Stormwind instead of like at my Covenant to show you guys like Spear Bastion. But Spear Bastion just adds something into the rotation that gives you even more damage. So while you're still doing the Shadowland content, you're going to be able to have fun with it. But that's it, guys. It's really simple. You really, depending on, if you need your enrage regeneration, that's going to give you some health back, things like that. But most of your stuff's going to passively do it for you. Occasionally, if you need to help your team rally and cry, throw it in there. That's it. That's it, guys. Again, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what you think of the rotation. If you have something better, drop it in there. Let me know. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good one. Peace.